Now at 4, you can definitely feel the cool change, at least for now. Heavy storms south, those will return. We're timing it out in the forecast.
Last I heard an hour ago, it was live.
And from a rescue mission to a recovery mission, dive teams right now searching for a girl missing who went underwater on a river. I'm Jenny Runovich in Columbus with a massive effort to find her.
Haley Busby's parents joined Governor Braun and lawmakers today as new laws are signed to protect kids. I'm Emily Longnecker at the State House, what those laws do and the work still ahead.
It's a busy day. We'll get to all of that and more, but we start right here. Spring is definitely doing its thing here in Indiana. You know what they say about April and the showers, right? It's gloomy, it's gray, a cool change in the air, and yes, we've got rain on radar. Thanks for joining us at 4 o'clock. I'm Dustin Grove.
Meteorologist Sean Ash is here. I'm Felicia Lawrence, and of course, we're covering this gray, chillier day.
Yeah, you guys really set it up there. It's it's just how it is what it is sometimes.
Crazy that I had the air conditioning on last night.
So did I. Yeah, and you may need it tomorrow, by the way.
Yeah, this is the flip and the flop, the
We're
swing.
going back and forth, and I will tell you, at least the worst of the storm bypassed us, at least in the central part of the state. And yes, definitely much colder by some 20 to locally over 30 degrees. Look at that change there in Muncie, 34 degrees colder than this time yesterday. It's 43 in Muncie. You definitely can see that there's a boundary that's draped over the southern part of the state. Had 70s earlier in Bedford, down to 64. Severe thunderstorm watch over southeast Indiana, where we thought it might be today. And you can see the heavier storms. These are right on the far southern fringe of our viewing area, just south now of Seymour and Bedford, though you will get some additional pockets of moderate rain. In between bursts there in Columbus, but again, those storms that you see over far southeastern Indiana will stay just outside of our viewing area. And then what's left in the wake? We've got just kind of a little mist and some light rain on the cool side. This is our camera on the northern side of Marion County. It's in that low cloud deck. These numbers aren't going to budge much. I mean, we're going to be parked in the 40s for the better part of the evening here, gradually climb into the lower 50s overnight in response to a warm front. We'll talk more about that and how warm will be for tomorrow coming up here in just a few minutes.
All right, Sean, let's talk about it. As always, you can stream our new live local radar 24/7, which is where you can track this rain as it rolls in and check the forecast whenever you want, whenever you need. Just download our free streaming app, WTHR Plus, onto your television.
Want to get to breaking news right now. After months of debate, city leaders have approved a controversial data center project for Indy's Martindale-Brightwood neighborhood.
So we want to get straight to Matthew Foltz live from the City County building. And Matthew, this was a big decision and a lot of people passionate on both sides.
Yeah, Felicia and Dustin, that's right. That meeting ending about 15 minutes ago. And as you mentioned, definitely heated on both sides. There were dozens of people packing the city council chambers here, and I can tell you that right now residents tell me that they are frustrated and upset at this vote. They tell me that they will continue to fight this legally. Meanwhile, I got a chance to speak with Ron Gibson and the CEO of Metro Blocks. They tell me that while this is not necessarily a victory for them, but they want it to be a collaborative effort moving forward with the community and this project. Now, if you don't remember, this project is slated to go near the intersection of 25th and Sherman on the city's east side in the Martindale-Brightwood neighborhood. It's going to be roughly 14 acres of land next to the Safeway Community Center, if you're familiar with that, and across from the Martindale-Brightwood neighborhood. It was proposed back in the fall, and many of the CEOs and teams with Metro Block says that this will be a benefit, long-term investment for the community. In fact, the CEO tells me that originally they had planned for a minimum of a $2.5 million upfront investment. Now he tells me that they will be hopefully investing a minimum of $20 million in the Martindale-Brightwood neighborhood over the next decade. So again, still a lot more hurdles to go through, a lot more hearings and such before an official construction date can begin. Again, folks on the residential side say they are continuing to fight. Many of them say they're still concerned about the environmental impacts that this will have on many of the residents, schools, and elderly in that area. But Dustin and Felicia, certainly a very monumental vote that was very highly anticipated. Coming at 5 o'clock, you'll hear more from both sides on this debate.
Well, it's impactful, having a huge impact on that community there.
And I'm sure we haven't heard the end of it. All right, we'll see you again at 5, Matthew. Thank you.
And it is now day 2 in the search for an 11-year-old girl who disappeared in the East Fork White River.
The rescue mission in Columbus has sadly turned into one of recovery. Our Jenny Runovich is live this afternoon for us at Mill Race Park, where crews have been out on the water since dawn. Jenny, I know you've been down there all day. What have you learned?
We have, Dustin, and sadly, they still have not found the missing girl who disappeared underwater around 6:30 Tuesday night. So the rain has stopped here, but that rain we experienced just about an hour ago did stop crews from searching. But take a look, you can see firefighters are back at it. The boats are back on the water. They're all focused on this portion of the river, which is not far from downtown Columbus, not far from I-65. This is an intense effort. DNR, dive teams, police, and fire crews from all across Bartholomew County are using technology and a lot of equipment to try and find the little girl. From drones in the air to boats on the surface to scuba divers searching by hand. And boats are deploying remote vehicles. They're called ROVs. They go in the river. They have side scan sonar and cameras underwater. These teams searched last night too. They're looking for the 11-year-old who had this heartbreaking accident. DNR says she was with her dad, other kids, and other families collecting shells and playing on the sandbar. But the unpredictability of a river can turn dangerous fast. The victim wandered too far into the water, stepped off the sandbar, and got swept away in a current. Her dad, DNR says, tried to save her, but couldn't reach his little girl.
So the river bottom changes every time it floods, and sandbars just like this one, you can literally step off the edge. And so, she went from waist deep water to over her head with just literally one step.
Yeah, it just happened that fast. Now, DNR and the family have not shared the girl's name. We just know she's from Columbus. We know she's 11 years old. And we also know these teams here will not stop until they find her. If we come back live here along the river in Columbus, I want to show you something else that they're using. If you can see that rope, that yellow rope there, they were actually having trouble with the current earlier today, too. It was too strong and kind of blowing the boat around, and it was making that remote operated vehicle difficult to get in the water and stay in one place and try and search with the camera. So they stretched that rope basically all across the river, and that's keeping the boat in place so that then they can throw that remote vehicle in and kind of do a semicircle as they search for the little girl. But again, they are committed. They've been here since last night. They'll be here through the night tonight until they find her. Felicia, Dustin, back to you.
I'm just thinking about that young girl's dad and her whole family, praying for them.
I know.
Things that have happened really quickly. All right, Jenny, thank you. I know that's a tough story down there. Keep us posted.
Also happening right now, jury deliberations underway in the trial of a teen charged with raping a younger boy on a school bus. Closing arguments wrapped up and jurors began deliberating about 90 minutes ago. 16-year-old Landon Doty is accused of sexually assaulting a nonverbal 7-year-old last year, assigned to sit next to him on a bus for students with special needs. The jury watched about an hour of bus surveillance video. We did not see that video. The public and the media were removed from the courtroom when it was played and the jury watched it. Doty himself took the stand as the only defense witness.
At some point, his head goes down. What's going on there?
Stroking his hair to calm him down.
Okay, so there was nothing sexual that was going on.
No.
At some point, it appeared that he was bouncing up and down on your lap or your knee. Is that right?
On my knee.
Dodie faces 4 counts of rape and 11 felonies in all. Our Rich Nye is there awaiting the verdict as soon as it comes in. We'll hear from Rich in Jennings County. And an emotional day today at the Indiana State House. The parents of slain Fisher's teen, Haley Busby, were there joining the governor as he signed 2 bills into law. Those bills aim to prevent what happened to Haley from happening to anybody else.
Police say the 17-year-old was picked up earlier this year by a man that she did meet online, and then she was taken to Ohio where she was killed. Our State House reporter Emily Longnecker is live with a closer look. Emily, what are you learning?
Well, Dustin and Felicia, you know, Haley Busby's parents are no strangers to the halls of this building. They were here at the State House a lot this past legislative session after Haley's death, pushing for changes. They were calling for an expansion to the state's alert system. They were also calling for more protections online for kids using social media. And some of the changes that they pushed lawmakers for actually made it into laws the governor signed today. Now, Beau Busby called it a step forward, but he acknowledged that more work needs to be done. And the governor and lawmakers acknowledged that same thing too. One of the laws signed today by Governor Braun requires social media providers to verify the age and location of anyone signing up for an account. Those under 16 need a parent or guardian's permission. Parents also have access to the account and can set restrictions on who their child can talk to. A second law increases the penalties for those who possess or share child sex abuse material. It also changes how missing children are handled when it comes to Indiana's alert system. Under the new law, missing children are added to the people who qualify for a silver alert if that child is believed to be in danger. Haley's dad spoke about the work done and the work ahead.
I appreciate the acknowledgement that there's still so much more work to do, and trust that if we make these bills our new baseline and the new standard going into this next session and continue to get after it,
the Busbys have already released a proposal for what they call Haley's Law. It would create a new pink alert system for missing people who don't fit the current alert criteria. The Busbys' proposal also calls for changes to school curriculum that would require more lessons for kids on grooming and exploitation. Governor Braun said today that he would support a pink alert system, calling it a priority for, quote, all of us, acknowledging several of the lawmakers also in the room. Coming up tonight at 5, we'll hear more from the Busbys as well as the governor's message for parents and social media companies. Dustin, Felicia.
All right, Emily, thank you so much for the update from the State House.
We'll see what happens in the State House next year on all of it. Sean?
All righty, we got rain on radar, getting you ready for a warmer and windy Thursday. Details ahead in the forecast.
We are just days away from the Final Four here in Indianapolis, and we're going to give you an inside look at this year's Fan Fest.
Looking forward to that, and this will tell you how you can help thousands of kids starting this spring. We'll be right back.